Hey guys, how's it going? Underground Geek here. So I got a couple of things that I want to talk about today. And it really dawned on me after I watched Lord Nurkle's video on relating versus representation on characters. And you know, what he was really talking about was when you have these characters that are there only because they look like certain people, as opposed to if they have actual talent and if the character has substance, you know. So I want to take that a little bit further, and I want to talk about something that has kind of been on my mind lately when it comes to these characters and comic books and how things are going. And I'm going to do it on the way to work here because I really just don't have the time to do it any other way. So you're going to get a driving video today, so if you like that kind of thing, get ready, because that's what's about to happen. Now, what I'm talking about in this video is you have these people that have started putting characters in books just because they look and act like them. And that is a recipe for disaster, because what you have is you have people in comic books that are just like the people writing them, and the people writing them are the most unlikable, unrelatable people ever. See, when I was in school, and the way that they used to do movies was you had groups of people, okay? You had what they called cliques, and that's just the way of life. You know, you can say you can try to stop that kind of thing, but you're never going to stop it. You know, never going to stop it, because that's always going to be. There are groups of cliques now in Comicsgate where certain people talk to certain people. That's just the way it is. You're never going to stop that. So when it comes to comic books and movies, if you look at, just go back as far as the 80s, what you had was you had the stories where they would have maybe the losers of the school or of the team, and by the end of the movie they would save the day. And see, what these people that I'm talking about, the SJW comic people, don't understand is they think that that's them. Okay, you have this constant thing where you started having all the losers and all the geeks save the day at the end of the day. But what they don't understand is those people changed by the end of the movie. And what I wanted to say, for example, is when I watched the new Jumanji movie, people were saying, hey, you know, talk about the new Jumanji movie. And I was like, okay. And then I kind of got busy and forgot about it. But I want to tie that movie into this, because in that movie, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it. You know, don't listen to this video. I'm going to try to be as spoilerless as possible. But in that movie, you had this group of people. You had the smart loser, you had the pretty girl, you had the smart loser girl, and you had the jock boy. So you pretty much had the two different groups represented there. By the end of the movie, they had all changed, okay? The pretty girl had humbled herself. The smart, or the jock, had become, you know, to realize that his friend that he was kind of ostracizing and blaming for something that he had actually done was actually one of his best friends, and he needed to change his attitude. And then the geeky girl realized that she was pretty and she was likable, and she became more outgoing. And that's what these people don't understand. These characters changed by the end of the book, at the end of the movie. They were not the same people. They were all different. They became the winners. They became the so-called champions of the school, so to speak. And see, just like if you look at something like the Power Rangers, okay, you go to the Power Rangers, they were good, they were teenagers with attitude. You know, that was the whole thing. But here's the thing. Let's look at the team. Jason, he was a jock, loved by everybody. Kimberly, she was a pretty girl, loved by everybody. Jason, or not Jason, but Zach, he was kind of the jock, the very outgoing, liked to dance in public, get attention, liked the girls, that kind of thing. And then you had Trini, which was slightly shyer, but was still pretty outgoing and had friends. And then you had Billy, which was the smart guy and kind of the geeky guy, but he was still popular. You know, he got picked on by Bulk and Skull, but he was still popular. He had lots of friends. He had at least 4 or 5 friends, you know, and he changed. And that's what I'm talking about. These people that are writing these comic books, they're writing these SJW characters as perfect, but they're writing them with the personality that they have, which is very unlikable sociopathic personalities. And they're not realizing that they're showcasing what is wrong with comics. You know, that's what's wrong with comics and movies. They have forgotten that these characters are supposed to learn something, that they're supposed to have faults and they're supposed to change. They've forgotten all about that because they want to be perfect. They want everybody to like them, and if you don't like them, you're a racist, sexist bigot. You know, and that's just that's what I'm trying to say here. You've got these characters like Riri Williams, that's Iron Man or Iron Heart, and she's completely unlikable. She's a sociopath. She has anger issues. She stole her suit, so she's also a thief. There's nothing to like about this person. Tony Stark was like a ladies' man. He was also alcoholic and had all these other problems, but he was still more likable than Riri Williams. And then you have Thor, which is now a female Thor, and she goes around picking fights with her own teammates. She tries to verbally abuse people like Hercules and the unworthy Thor and Hulk and people like that, and they just take it because they're written like that. The real characters, if you had done that to Thor and you had badmouthed him or you badmouthed Hercules, they would have ripped your tongue out your butt. Okay, they don't put up with no grief. You look at the Thor that's in the movies compared to the Thor that we got now, it's completely different. I mean, the dude fought with one eye missing in the last movie and still won. And that's what they don't understand. These people are overcoming obstacles. They're overcoming their personal flaws, and they're becoming better people. If you look at characters like, let's see, Hawkeye, the way they've demasculinized him or feminized him, so to speak, from the way he used to be. He was a ladies' man. He had a lot of issues, but he was very likable because he was confident and got things done. And that's when I want to go back to the movies and the way they do the movies and the comic books now. Like I said before, they're writing these books and they're writing these movies where the dorks win. You know, they're trying to write their own history, rewrite their own history where the dorks win. My thing is, the dorks became the jocks. Okay, they became confident, they became likable. They saw their flaws and changed. These people that are writing them are not changing. They're staying the same, trying to rewrite their own history through these characters. And at the end of the day, it's not happening because they're so unlikable. And so that's what I'm trying to get across here. These people don't understand that we see through that. We see through what they're trying to do. They're trying to change who the classic hero is. They're trying to make the classic hero that dork, you know, that is always good at everything, when they don't realize that dork, like on the Jumanji movie, changed at the end of the movie and was very confident, very outgoing, got the girl, you know, the classic story. And then the geeky girl became outgoing, got the guy, become likable, had friends, was friends with some of the most popular girls in school, and her life was better. But they don't see that. They don't see what they're doing because they're trying to make fantasy and reality for their own life. And that just doesn't happen, you know. You've got to go out and you've got to make changes on your own. And so that's what I'm trying to say here. That's all I'm trying to say, is that it kind of hit me all of a sudden when I was watching Lord Nurkle's video about the characters and the way they do. Like, for example, Rose with Star Wars, one of the most unlikable characters ever. And so I just had to talk more about it. And he was talking kind of about Spider-Man and the way he was. Spider-Man was not the most popular guy, but he was also very outgoing. He was not afraid to run. He was not afraid to fight a fight. He never ran from a fight. And he always fought people stronger than him and overcame it. he was always pushing himself. These people have never been pushed in their life. They want trophies for participating. And this kind of stuff needs to stop. And we need to emphasize good comic books and movies, because that's the only way that you're going to stop this cycle of people thinking that you can just rewrite your own history. But that's pretty much all I got to say. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell me what you think about the subject. I just want to do a quick little video. Hope you guys have a great day.